Hi Rachel, it is Saturday, May 14th, and it's really late at night.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Everything that's wonderful is what I feel when we're together.
He's on
Brighter than a lucky penny when you're near. The rain goes, disappears, dear, and I feel so fine.
Yeah, this is totally our best
Just to
class.
know that you are mine.
Also, say hello to the Smiths for me. I haven't spoken to Alyssa in forever, and also the best to her mom. And hopefully they fix all the cracks in their pavement. We don't get that many over here because remember what Mr. Simon said, where cracks are normally formed by the water from rain coming in and then it freezes over the winter, which expands them. Well, here it doesn't freeze, so we don't have that many cracks. It just rains a lot. It may not rain often here, but when it does, it's really bad. Like, you don't go outside. In fact, normally we just get severe thunderstorms. Like, you just see a little bit of cloud, and since it's normally completely sunny over here, you see a little bit of cloud and go, oh, let's go inside now, because about 5 minutes later it's going to be raining buckets and the wind will knock things over. It just knocked down a table. It knocked down a complete table inside of the lanai. So, yeah. But there's not many cracks, so I guess that's not that bad. Sorry, reading with notes. Oh, you said that you're starting to dislike Apple more and more. I actually am too. We don't have any windows in our place. Home. That's what I was. It's late at night. I can't find words. Anyway, all of our computers, including this one, are Macs. We don't. Vent. Anyway. All of our computers are Macs, but I'm starting to think that with all this iPhone thing, that they've set up a nice marketing strategy to get the owners of their products to feel bad, because you like, ooh, it's an iPhone 3, woo! Next summer, the iPhone 4. So once the iPhone 4 comes out, you have this iPhone 3, and you're like, I feel bad about myself now. So you go get the iPhone 4. It's like all of a sudden you're obligated, and the more new iPhones come out, the slower and slower your old one gets. I have an iPhone 3G, and it is extremely slow. It takes at least a minute to start up. I think that's one thing. I think Apple's being a little bit devious here. Although I sort of feel bad for Steve Jobs because he has pancreatic cancer. That has like a 4% survival rate. Either way, I think the computers actually work pretty well. It's really hard to get a virus on them. Okay. Oh, this is the first time we've had a stone floor. You said that you can't do tap on your hardwood floor. It's weird on the stone floor because she said technically we're supposed to be wearing slippers around the house because it gives you knee damage. I'm like, okay. Good news, I can do flamenco on them. Bad news, I shouldn't be walking around barefoot because it just puts extra pressure. Wow, when I said put extra pressure, I pressed the stop button. So I'm just going to move the mouse off the stop button. Wow, that was just funny. Well, your tap looks a lot like our flamenco footwork, actually. We have like toes, heels, and flats where it's just the whole foot. But the thing is that the flamenco pose, let's say, is very low to the ground. It's not like you do a lot of stuff where you're moving around and you can scuff your feet and move them around. But with flamenco footwork, you're supposed to have your knees bent and like a very rooted posture. And actually, most of the time, you're trying to do the footwork and make the noises, but your feet shouldn't be moving very much. And we don't move around with footwork either. Normally, it's sort of separated. Like, we'll do like rolls and moving around and skirt work and such, and then we'll stop and have like a footwork intermission where we're not moving. It's very especially for the girls because flamenco came from Spain and Latin culture is a little bit separating of the genders tiny bit because the women are supposed to be very feminine in Latin culture and the men are supposed to be very macho. So women didn't do footwork until like the 1950s because the men were the one who had the footwork. The women, first of all, didn't wear pants. Like, there's this one lady who just revolutionized because she wore pants and she did footwork. I'm like, okay. But, so the women are supposed to be focusing more on the hand motions and upper body stuff, and the men are supposed to be focused more on the feet. So it's a little bit of a balance. We don't have as much tap-like stuff because we're not drawing much attention to the feet. And you've been doing tap for a very long time. You're amazing at it. And even with that battle with the mosquito, you were awesome. We definitely have our share of mosquitoes over here, plus spiders and snakes and alligators. Apparently, in the state of Florida, there have been a record of like 120 unprovoked alligator attacks also. So, one tip when you go over here, don't swim in a freshwater body of water. Alligators won't be in the ocean. It's good. And you wouldn't want to go swimming in the freshwater places around here either. They're very swampy. And they have lots of mosquitoes. They're mosquito breeding grounds. If you had our house in Indiana here, just now, and we're not even anywhere near a body of water, I got bit in my room with a mosquito on the lip. I'm not sure if you can see this, but it swelled up right there because it bit me. It wasn't fun. Well, anyway, I woke up and I was like, Ma, how come my lips swelled up? It was funny because I'm allergic to mosquito bites. Not extremely, but they always leave scars on me. If you can't see that, they're all over my legs too. Just whenever I get bit, it always leaves a scar. I don't know. To be fair, when I was little, I had a picking problem, but I don't do it as much, and it still leaves scars. Well, I went to the dermatologist a couple weeks ago, and he said that it was because of my skin color. Because I have like a sort of olive-ish, especially in the sun, and it causes any sort of skin damage, including bites, to have like sort of it has more skin pigment in it when it heals. You went and you totally pwned that mosquito. Congratulations. And did you say that that mosquito smelled fear? Oh my goodness, that's wonderful. And it was also very funny how your mom's behind the camera going, Rachel! Rachel! Like, focus! And my mom would do that. My mom would do that to me also. It was amazing. Also, that was a win ninja fall recovery there. You're like, scoot back, whoosh, and you went to like a crouching tiger position. Awesome. It was like Karate Kids. Once again, your tapping is amazing, and you're talking about how you're talking to yourself on the camera. We were actually talking about this at the studio a couple weeks ago, where apparently there's those moments where you're, well, of course, most of the kids at the studio are driving age because it's a high school class, so they say that they'll be driving in the car and they'll be having a nice, like, personal talk with yourself. You know how sometimes you have to talk things out to, like, to get them into your brain, to just have a conversation with yourself, and so they'll be in the car, and they'll just be, like, talking to themselves, and it's completely nice, but then they stop at an intersection, and the person next to them sees that nobody else is in the car, so they look over, and this person's talking to themselves. So once they notice that someone's looking at them, they're, like, slowly bring up their phone and resume the conversation as if they're talking to someone else. It's really funny. And I found it especially funny when you called me graceful. Oh, thanks for the compliment, though. I guess it depends on what situation I'm in, if I'm graceful or not. In a choreographed situation, sure, yeah, I guess I'm graceful. Not normally. You are definitely, though, during normal life, you could definitely tell all those years of, dance training, because you could just walk around and you just look like a dancer walking around. It's amazing. Congratulations on being done with AP, and I get the familial tension when your brother moves back into your house. I mean, especially after a whole bunch of years with you being with your parents, and almost like a single child experience for a little bit, and having your brother move back in, it's almost like a conflict of interest. My brother still lives in the house with me, and we definitely still have a little bit of tension, but there's always those days where we get along, and it's nice. And then something else irks us. You know us, Rachel. But you'll always get through it. It's not like it would completely ruin your relationship with your brother. Not possible. Not possible. Also, good luck on the sea turtle project. I have a horrible memory, so I did not remember your second grade sea turtle project, and now I feel horrible about it. And I wish I had teeth like a sea turtle. Because these still aren't coming in. Although, actually, my left one is. Actually, I brushed my teeth, so here. See how it has a little point in the gum? It's coming in. I won't need surgery, so that's nice. And now the Eye of the Tiger is stuck in my head. As soon as you mention the Eye of the Tiger, it's one of those songs where as soon as you hear the name, it's like bum, 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 bum. It just immediately gets stuck in your head. Also, I've decided to catch up with curriculum that I sort of missed this year because I was repeating geometry. And I'm not saying it was a horrible thing. You know my grades I got in geometry in the 8th grade. I mean, I passed. I got above a B, but geometry didn't really click with me. And this year, I really got it. And I actually sort of like geometry now. So over the summer, I'm going to be taking an Algebra 2 Trig honors class. It starts on June 15th, and it takes 9 weeks of 4 hours a day of studying. Of course, not during the week that you're here. Not during the week that you're here. I won't let that get in the way of anything. Trust me. And then maybe during the school year, I might take a U.S. Intelligence Covert Activities class, aka spies. I'm not kidding you. U.S. Intelligence Covert Activities, that's spying, and international relations but under the radar, things that are sort of secretive, and I'm sort of excited that I might do that. My brother's play at the studio is starting next week, and it's very nice because, he was always sort of hesitant to get into school plays, especially at Clay Middle School, probably because, the whole city of Carmel has extremely talented people as far as performing arts, and he was sort of nervous. And down here we also have extremely talented people, but he is playing Chip in 25th Annual Putnam Spelling Bee. I think you might want to watch some videos of it. It's very nice. I told you he's the kid who won the spelling bee last year, but he gets distracted by a girl in the audience, and he doesn't want to get up for his turn. And he ends up getting out, and he sings the song "My Unfortunate Distraction" that my brother and I were screaming last one. And he's actually pretty good at it. He's actually got some compliments from the high schoolers, and I think it's very nice because, he was sort of nervous doing that last year, and it turns out he has sort of a talent for it. I'm sort of happy. I'm very happy for him. I think that might be it. I'm going to my new school next year. I have about 2 weeks of school yet left. Next week is all review for exams. Our final exams are on the last week of school. And then the next week of school, I've got normal classes Monday. Tuesday, I take social studies and biology finals with a 4-hour break in between. On Wednesday, I'm checking my calendar here. I think I may be taking English. I'm not completely sure. Sorry, my iCal's coming up. What am I taking on Wednesday? Math. And that's a half day. And then on Thursday, I'm taking a half day English final. And then on Friday, I'm taking a half day Spanish final, which I'm sort of nervous about because Spanish right now is my toughest subject. Just because I'm lacking some vocabulary because I was switched from Spanish 1 all the way past like Spanish 4. So I'm like, I need to start speaking at home. But I'm glad that I'm getting a lot of the grammar tricks to it. I just need more vocabulary in order to carry on a conversation. Because we're learning really proper Spanish, which you don't hear, especially here where you've got a lot of people who grew up learning Spanish in Tampa. Yeah, I could say Tampa. It's a big enough city. And, well, yeah. That's pretty much. So, I'm learning a whole bunch of big vocabulary that you don't really heard. Like, my mom's never heard the term vinculas, which is family ties. Or you also have like destreza, which is a skill. You'd think it would be distress, but it's a skill. It's a false cognate. Or you have like acontecimiento, which is event, although apparently that's a common word. I don't know why they have to make acontecimiento for an event. Like those sort of words. And we learn about different subjects either way. Like right now we're learning about immigrant workers, and the last one was about a family in crisis, like divorce. And then the one before that was about regular family. And I really love it because it's sort of a Latin culture / humanities / Spanish lesson. And it really helps incorporate everything. I will see you 27 days. days.